Welcome to DigiMasters Shorts. We are your hosts, Adam Nagus
and Carly Wilson, delivering the latest scoop from the digital realm.
West Texas Dust Coat's a construction site where OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is building Stargate, a sprawling network of data centers that could cost roughly $850 billion and consume power on the scale of major cities. At the Abilene campus alone, thousands of workers are racing to bring online compute capacity that OpenAI says is essential to sustain explosive growth in artificial intelligence. Similar megaprojects are rising across the country as Meta, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Elon Musk bankroll vast data centers, transforming farmland and factory towns into hubs of power and compute. The top hyperscalers are now spending hundreds of billions of dollars a year on AI infrastructure, much of it financed through unprecedented levels of corporate debt. Banks and analysts warn this borrowing spree carries echoes of past overbuilds, where infrastructure raced ahead of demand and left investors exposed. OpenAI sits at the center of this arms race, forging massive partnerships with chipmakers and cloud providers in deals that critics say blur the line between firm commitments and bold projections. Industry leaders argue demand for intelligence will be near infinite as AI moves from experimental models to always-on systems embedded across the economy. Skeptics counter that long construction timelines and shifting market needs create a dangerous gap between today's spending and tomorrow's returns. For now, the bet is clear. Whoever secures the most power and compute first may define the next technological era or become its most expensive cautionary tale.
President Xi Jinping used a triumphant New Year's Eve speech to spotlight China's rapid advances in artificial intelligence and chip-making, urging confidence in the country's development path. He declared China one of the world's fastest-rising innovation economies, citing progress in large AI models, semiconductor research, humanoid robots, drones, and major defense projects like the Fujian aircraft carrier. Xi said China had overcome significant challenges under its current 5-year plan and is on track for a 140 trillion yuan economy, with national strength reaching new heights. The upbeat tone followed a year that saw a Chinese AI startup defy US chip curbs and domestic chipmakers rush to raise capital to fuel technological self-reliance. China also weathered a renewed trade war with the United States, leveraging rare earth dominance as exports shifted elsewhere and the trade surplus topped $1 trillion. Relations with Washington have stabilized after a temporary truce between Xi and President Donald Trump, who is expected to visit China in April. Xi avoided emphasizing external risks this year, instead framing 2026 as the start of a new planning cycle focused on high-quality development. He reiterated his push for strict anti-corruption enforcement within the Communist Party, amid a sweeping purge of military and senior officials. Despite recent signs of manufacturing recovery, Xi acknowledged underlying economic fragilities including weak consumption, slowing investment, and a struggling property sector. He also reaffirmed Beijing's stance on Taiwan, following the military's largest drills around the island in decades, calling reunification inevitable. Instagram's top executive says artificial intelligence has effectively ended the app's once polished aesthetic. In an end-of-year message, Instagram head Adam Mosseri said the traditional grid of carefully curated photos is no longer how people share their lives. He noted that users stopped posting personal moments to the main feed years ago, opting instead for casual, unfiltered images shared through direct messages. According to Mosseri, the rise of easily generated AI imagery has made glossy, professional-looking content cheap and uninteresting. He argued that creators will need to move toward a more raw and authentic style to stand out as feeds become crowded with synthetic content. Mosseri also warned that platforms will struggle to identify AI-generated media as the technology improves. He said Instagram must clearly label AI content, offer more transparency about who is posting, and give real people better tools to compete in an increasingly artificial environment.
Boston Consulting Group is going all in on AI as the consulting giant shifts from strategy advice toward building and maintaining tools for clients. Partner Scott Wilder says the firm launched an internal R&D lab about 15 months ago to accelerate development of AI products powered by proprietary and public data. Since the rise of generative AI, consulting firms like BCG have raced to embed intelligence into their workflows, making data selection and timing as important as the models themselves. BCG is building servers and agents that automatically pull the right information, while consultants in the field create tools that can later be scaled firm-wide. Popular internal products include Dexter for presentations, Ava for internal support, and Gene for content like podcasts and publicity. The firm also employs forward-deployed consultants who build custom solutions for clients using both internal platforms and tools like ChatGPT. BCG says it has created roughly 36,000 custom GPTs, most of them developed by frontline teams rather than central leadership. New tools undergo security, legal, and privacy reviews before being added to a centralized marketplace accessible across the firm. Executives describe the effort as a bottom-up innovation engine, supported by thousands of employees trained to spot and share new AI ideas.
Thank you for listening to today's AI and Tech News Podcast summary. Please do leave us a comment, and for additional feedback, please email us at podcast@digimasters.co.uk. You can now follow us on Instagram and Threads by searching for @Digimaster Shorts or search for Digimasters on LinkedIn. Be sure to tune in tomorrow and don't forget to follow or subscribe.